Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, yesterday at 9 a.m., I got to take the deposition of my dear old dad, the crotch grabber himself. Now, just think about that. My life has been wonderful. I've had so many wonderful experiences. And you know what? How many people in their lifetime gets a chance to actually take their father's deposition under oath? I'll bet there's a lot of kids out there that would like to put their dad under oath and take their deposition. Or their kid, maybe. Would you like to get your kid under oath? Well, I got a chance to do that yesterday. And I had all my exhibits lined up. This is how funny it was. First and foremost, I wasn't allowed in the room because of the COVID stuff, so I had to do it from Zoom from the law office. Guess what? Dominic Romeo from the office was allowed to be in the room, though. I wanted that because I wanted to prevent coaching. Dom also took the 42 exhibits that I had pre-prepared and marked for the deposition. Now, this was videotaped, and it's being transcribed from an expedite. I might just show you. It's public record, folks. I might just play you the entire deposition of my father. It was hysterical. This guy lies so much. He's a complete scoundrel. Lies unfreaking believable. And then can't remember certain things. There's two things when I train lawyers for depositions. One, you want them to admit something, or two, deny something that makes them look totally foolish. Like, for example, is the moon in the sky? And they'll say, well, I don't know if it's in the sky or not. You know, whatever. It just makes them look stupid. There's a whole bunch of that for dear old dad. And it went smooth until the end. It got a little bit nasty when I had enough of his BS. I actually called my dad on the record a buffoon. He told me to stop calling him names. I think I called him a buffoon again. Maybe worse, I don't remember. The bottom line is, my father tried to steal my stock in the family company. What father does that? What father does that to a son who was loyal for 57 years of his life? I assume I was loyal when I was 1 and 2 years old. I don't know about that. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I pooped and peed when he held me. But the bottom line was, I have been loyal to my dad for 57 years until April this past year. But you guys have been following this, and I know you're very interested in it. Also, when it got nasty at the end, gay turd Jeremy was listening to it by speakerphone from his office. That's where Dad was. And they came running out. And these lawyers representing my dad are amateurs. It cracks me up. I can't wait for this jury trial. I don't know if I'm allowed to sell tickets to a public jury trial, but I think we could probably sell a few. Now, in addition to giving you an update on my dad's case, I also wanted to talk about another lawyer. His name is David Burley, whose picture's on the screen. You know what? David Burley, and I'm going to tie this into dear old dad. David Burley came to Deters Lavelle and was assigned to me to train. He worked under me for a year or two till I left the firm. And David was a big, tall wimp, silver spoon in his mouth. His father was the CEO of Scripps Howard. By the way, I like his dad. I don't care for David too much. He's a big wuss. Well, anyway, David left Deters Lavelle and he went to another firm where he claims to be Mr. Family Trust, estate planning superstar guy. Let me tell you something. He and Jeremy, who I think have a lot in common, he and Jeremy apparently talked dear old dad into using David for his big estate plan, which is a disaster, which, by the way, Dad himself admitted to me was a disaster. I also got some inside information that dear old Dave Burley might be getting sued by a family or two for how screwed up their estate plans are. So this guy makes himself president of the Family Enterprise Office. I help owners of Family Enterprise and their trust beat the odds. No, you don't. Unbelievable. He guides them to deep. By the way, he's now at Baker, Heffer, Myers, and Koenig. What's wrong, David? Can't you get your name? Don't you love the way law firms make names? John Johnson, Jones, Smith, Smalley, Black, and Pete. I mean, unbelievable. Baker, Heffer, Myers, and Kane. Do they arm wrestle each other to see whose name gets in it? How come Burley's not in there yet? Is a boutique Cincinnati firm that focuses on the needs of privately held business. I got to ask you, considering the freaking mess my dad's in right now, do you think they did a good job representing him? I don't think so. By the way, they're the ones that prepared all these fraudulent documents, but they claim it was because Dad told them to prepare them. David Burley. David is a joke. By the way, I got to tell you a funny story. I sent David an email this week. I've been wanting to send this email to him for a long time to tell him what I thought of him, okay? So this is hilarious. So I send this email to David telling him what I think of him. I get a phone call from a Cincinnati police officer, Officer Schwartz, who leaves me a message that says, David Burley doesn't want you to communicate to him anymore. So I know that. You know what harassing communications are? When somebody tells you to stop communicating to them, you got to stop communicating to them. So, and Bill's Officer Schwartz asked me to return the phone call to make sure that I got the message. So I call Officer Schwartz and I leave him a message. This is how it went. Officer Schwartz, this is Eric Deters, confirming that I got the message. Will you give David Burley a message? Will you tell David Burley to enjoy the Bulldog show on Wednesday? I think he'll enjoy it a lot. Because you know what? The show is not harassment communications. It's my show. So David, I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you and your law firm lose lots of business. If you are somebody out there who is using David Burley as your legal advisor for estate planning, just think of this. He did it for Charlie Deters, and look where Charlie Deters is right now. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day, David Burley.